Burst of Radiance. The best spells that clerics can cast.
That's actually sounded truth.
So yeah, McElroy approved.
Remove Fear is always a solid one. Like, super solid.
Endure Elements.
Endure Elements is super great, which I think you get from Weather.
Well, I can use a version of Endure Elements from my Weather domain, yeah.
Oh, that's
It's not the same as the spell, but it's similar. Yeah, I don't get access to Burst of Radiance yet.
Is it second level?
Well,
It is second level.
pools of radiance.
Yeah, maybe I can do like drips of radiance, but I don't have burst capacity.
I mean, Blessed is always good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, do you want me to like prep multiple copies? Because I can.
I would leave a lot of copies open. I would prep for one combat and that's it. And leave the rest, you don't know what we're doing.
Wheels Day Morning, Heavy Rain.
Oh,
Also a video game.
Yeah, that's what he said.
is it purple though?
Sean.
Purple rain.
Nope, it's jury and imposing, but seems natural.
Yeah, very well.
So I guess we're gonna get in our dog sled that we just acquired, and we're going to make sure the wheels are attached and drive the edge of the snow, and then push the wheels on, switch the keys on.
This is
What-
awesome, guys.
did you-
I have ranked in skill driver, so
Hey.
I can drive.
No. Wow.
You get to be the dog driver. I love it.
What?
I'm
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
even
say, what did you guys?
fucking-
Oops. What did you guys buy to burden this thing with?
A puppy, a husky called Fred.
What is our husky named?
Fred.
Is
I
it
think.
Beth Hounds that are around here?
You probably didn't get a husky. Huskies aren't around. You probably got something like a boxer?
Like a German Shepherd or something.
Yeah. Or more
I
than
let dog
likely,
people make a call.
a mule. Get a mule.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, there's some horses that are specifically ponies that are specifically known to be in Taldor. What are they called? They're
Shetland pony.
no, those are assholes. Fuck those things.
I don't know. But you have a beast.
Yay, a beast. Yeah, we can use a mule. That's fine.
Yep,
oh,
sure.
they're racing horses. That's what they are. They're some sort of like racing horse. That's what they're known for.
Basically, you can tell that like just the amount of doggage for sale here is just not appropriate for what you think is taking off into an Arctic expanse. Especially if you think it's going to be long term.
Yeah.
Like these are dogs that need warm blankets and stuff, and don't go out and lay down in the snow in the shade, like I've seen pictures of huskies
So-
doing.
So before we leave, then we'll make sure that we have a blanket thing for the mules so it doesn't get too miserable, and we'll choose the one with the longest hair. Like
Do we have a dog or do we have a mule? I'm just super confused.
I would like a dog, but Adam is saying we can't have a dog, so we're taking a mule.
Yeah, mule's easy enough. They're hardworking. They're durable. They're pretty self-sufficient.
That also makes more logistical sense.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some sort of mule or jackass around. I mean, jackass is literally in this company right now.
Hey,
What are we calling our mule?
Muley.
well, the guy that sells it to you says his name is Gregory, but you're welcome to call him whatever you want.
Gregory?
I like Gregory. Come on, Greg.
I'm old, Greg. Is he old? Tell me he's not old. We can't have old Greg.
Now he's in the prime of his mule life.
Prime of the mule life. Alrighty.
How about
Very
Ambrose?
well.
No one gets that joke. We're moving
Well,
on.
I'm excited
Greg.
for this. I don't know what's happening, but I'm excited
Okay.
for it.
So we head off towards the in the direction that we think is most efficient to get back to the lodge that we were at
I'm
last time.
imagining that you all meet back up to take on your excursion, and Amur has got this like strapping wagon loaded down with all kinds of stuff, and it's like he's moving out. Built his own circus
Yeah.
tent. So that's probably a funny story. Ha 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 ha.
You know it.
Okay. So yeah, you do pretty confidently know how to get back to the lodge. Is there any reason you would want to not go there directly?
No.
Okay.
Can we go back the route by way of where we found that strange talking buck?
Yeah, and that's going to be the most direct route specifically.
Very good.
It's been 3 days or 2 nights since you fled. When you get back to the frozen, like basically not really the barrier, but where it starts to get like freezing and icy and such, you can tell that it's kind of moved out significantly. It's the ice is encroaching farther out than it was the first 2 days you were out here. It's not enough to be alarming. It's definitely continental shelf kind of movement, but it's noticeable. Like you see that some of the trees are frosted over that weren't before.
That's not alarming. That's absolutely alarming, sir.
Well, yeah, it is alarming. Sorry, it's not like, oh god, we gotta outrun this shadow pitch black
It's
style.
not. You know, stay after tomorrow. Throw my books on a fire, makes it hotter.
But yeah, you can tell that it's definitely expanding, and that's probably not good news.
Cool.
Let me roll some dice.
Yay, dice.
Alright, I'm prepping Goodberry as my domain spell.
Yay.
Hey, that's fun.
Well, my choices are Goodberry or Obscuring Mist, so. And we know how Adam feels about Obscuring Mist.
I love it.
No one loves Obscuring Mist.
I love it.
What does Goodberry do besides from 1 hit point per berry? It doesn't do a barrier effect.
I think it feeds you.
Like you're full, like for as you had eaten a whole meal with it.
I think so.
It's like 1 health per berry.
So, it's raining real bad early.
You get 1 health per berry, and you get basically enough food as though it was a meal for a medium creature.
Cool.
It's raining pretty heavy in the morning, but you guys are good enough with weather shenanigans to know that it's going to quit probably pretty soon, so it shouldn't be anything to terribly worry about. It is kind of like light, like mist kind of falling, and it may make it so that it's enough to where if you didn't have supernatural abilities to deal with cold, this would be what you consider to be dangerous. So,
Okay.
even with your cold weather gear and such. So how is it that you guys are dealing with the cold right now? I know Maris is fine all the time.
Not quite fine all the time, but most of the time, yeah.
What's the question?
How are you guys dealing with the cold?
I have cold weather outfit.
Okay.
Yep,
Also,
that's what I'm
hold
doing
it
too.
up.
Well, we're all wearing cold weather gear. Is this worse? But it sounded like, Adam, what you were saying is this is worse than cold weather gear?
Yeah, it's wet outside. It's like drizzling a little bit, so it's not going to make it dangerous. But if you're out here too long, or if you're not taking breaks often to warm up, it's basically just going to be a little bit slower going, and I'm probably going to have you need to make fortitude saves eventually.
Maris can cast. I can cast Endure Elements, but it's 1 hour per level, and I can do it. I can't remember 5 times. I think.
So
Yeah, I can do it a number of days equal to 3 plus my Wisdom modifier. So I can cast Endure Elements for an hour on all of us. But I don't know if there's a great benefit to doing that. 'Cause it's only
2 hours, right?
2 hours.
2 hours. You're right. I can do it for 2 hours on everybody.
100%
Let's do it. Let's do it when people get cold. If someone starts failing their saves, we'll start helping them out.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I can do it. I can do it 8 times because I have a stupid high wisdom modifier.
So there's not anything that's going to interrupt you between the edge of the ice and the lodge. Once you get into the kind of sphere of cold, the rain it's definitely falling as rain, and when it kind of gets into the cold weather, it flash freezes, and it actually makes it feel a little bit drier, but it's annoying. It just like stings your face and falls in little shards of crystals. It's like a mix between hail and sleet.
We are not.
But it's not overwhelming. It's just annoying at this point. It's enough to make like perception checks and ranged attacks be wonky, basically.
Gotcha.
Everything is covered in this like crusty, crunchy ice. Those older tracks you were following may have been obscured at this point, but anything new is probably going to stand out really well. When you get back to the lodge, you can see the parts where you fled and you had that little bit of a skirmish outside the front door is starting to frost over, and the tracks are starting to fill in. Oops. And none of these guys are here anymore.
And they're exactly as you left them.
Oh yeah, I hadn't looked at this map. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything has changed. You don't see anybody hanging out outside. How you proceed is up to you, but you did make it here without any incident. You didn't see that talking deer from before.
Okay.
Have fun, adventurers.
Okay, so a lot of what Adam was saying came to me as digitized. What I gathered is it seems to be there's no one here. Most of the tracks have been snowed over, and we are free to do what we want.
Correct.
Okay. Then I will investigate the well.
Well,
Well.
percept at it. Doesn't seem like anything's amiss.
There's no floating corpses frozen down in the bottom.
No. The weirdest thing about it, which is kind of understandable, is if you kind of give a tug on the rope, it is very taut from the bottom, like something is holding it down.
It's probably frozen down there.
I cast light as a rock and I drop it down the well.
Yay!
Solving problems. Yeah, it falls until it just kind of crashes and bounces on this solid layer of ice at the bottom of it. The whole thing is kind of shiny and glistening. If someone fell down there, they would probably be trapped forever, except for this nice taut rope they could climb to get back out.
Don't fall down the well.
Well, let's test the experiment, huh? Hypothesis to put forward.
The trap that got set off that shouldn't have been set off in the first place has not been reset in any way. You can see that the whole like crossbow mounting spot is still just kind of dangling there lifelessly.
Well, I take the crossbow.
Okay.
Is the front door?
You have a crossbow.
Or
Hooray!
Is what?
when is the door to the building open or closed?
It's closed.
Very good.
Can we listen to see if there's movement inside?
Sure. You don't hear anything so far.
Oh, I guess I should roll perception.
I was waiting for.
Well, I will. I just have to get my stupid character sheet up again. This is the problem of having a 13-inch laptop and trying to have multiple windows open.
You can if you double click on the title bar of it, it'll just auto hide it. No, it's still in there. You don't hear anything.
Alright,
Just the kind of like background whirl of wind. Folren, there's a real bad smell coming out of that room.
Hey, Adam.
Well, that makes sense.
What's up?
Just a reminder that I now have trap find. Should that matter?
Okay, you have
No.
trap. You have trap spotter.
I don't think
finder?
it's trap spotter. I think it's trap find. But just letting you know that.
Okay.
I'll pull it up as soon as I get your lab.
No, there's nothing to be heard. Hey, Tasty, I forgot you were here. Get out of here, kid. We sold you to the circus.
Aren't we the circus?
We were.
We are Groot.
Now we're professional adventurers because of level 2.
Alright, Folren, you're starting to see some things down there that give you some cool information. Let's see here. So, on the far side of the lodge, what you figure to be like the front door of it, there's kind of a lot more fresh foot traffic over there. You can't tell how old it is because you're not that kind of guy. But there's foot traffic of at least one person just crossing back and forth a lot between the bridge and back toward the lodge. And there's a lot of like hoof prints as well, like some kind of deer animal, like the one you see standing kind of grazing through the snow in front of the bridge. It's very familiar.
What?
Do I think it's seen me?
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's aware of you. But it's not reacting, it's doing the same kind of deal it was where it didn't seem to like actively pay any attention to you, it just kind of acknowledged you were there.
Alright, I'm walking over this way. Nothing over here, guys! Don't worry about it!
There's a, you don't mention that there's a deer.
Nope.
Cool.
Adam, it is trap finding, not trap spotting. I do not have trap spotter.
Right.
And then I try to make a stealth check. Oh no, why is that not on my thing?
You're not allowed.
Hold on. Oh, well, turned out. Hey! To peep it.
Are you peeping at it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, it's another one of those white deer. It's just kind of hanging out, picking at the roots of one of the trees near that bridge. You didn't really get a good look at that bridge. You could definitely hear the waterfall going on, and you know to your south is this very beautiful and impressive view of like the ridge line below you. But yeah, there's a bridge that just kind of goes over the stream that leads farther along west-southwest.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep peeping it.
Peep it for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the door for traps.
Red stripe. You're fairly confident that door is not trapped, but it is barred again.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
Can the rest of us see the deer?
If you want to go and peek at it, yes, you could. So if you go to investigate, you look around the corner, yeah, you see that deer just hanging out on its own.
Alright, as Ordu comes up forward, makes a shush sound with his lips. Just informing him to be very quiet and stealthy.
I am the stealthiest.
Adam, would you mind turning off the line of sight stuff?
Yes.
Okay, because it's really a pain right now.
Because I just want to fucking watch it for a few minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be reacting to you guys whatsoever. It's like every now and then it looks up and like looks off into the woods. Occasionally it looks in your direction. It doesn't seem calm. It seems to be like that whole deer nervousness that they kind of always have. In fact,
So I'm pretty confident that this is
if Maris or some such want to study it for a minute and give me a nature check, it might be revealing.
Okay, I'll take a gander at it.
You have to go level of breaking that filing.
Yeah, near as you can tell, it is a normal routine deer. If it weren't for the fact that it spoke to you a couple days ago, you wouldn't think that this was anything out of place.
Hey, Maris got a 17 because of family trade.
Alright, so after we've watched it for a few minutes, I will attempt to approach it in a non-aggressive fashion.
Folren pulls out his crossbow, sneakily, but very
You
aggressively.
just have your hand on the trigger under your cloak.
Folren is staying where he is.
It's a deer! What
Do I have a charge?
Yeah, because nothing else is trying to kill us. Oh wait, no, literally everything here
Adam.
has.
Adam, how do I get a charge thing? Where do I need to go to?
You will not be able to whatsoever. The ice and snow is so fresh that any kind of charging is basically impossible.
Cool. Crossbow it is.
Adam, I don't have any handle animal, but can I approach this thing in sort of a non-aggressive fashion?
Yeah, when you come around the corner and you just kind of, I guess, put your hands up and you're just like, whoa, it's okay, cool. It raises its head and it starts to, it looks like it starts to bound away, but then it stops. And then you hear it say in this familiar voice, it's like, hey, I knew you fellas would be back over this way.
Did you
Yeah.
see it? No.
Looks like everybody up inside there had a real bad time. I wonder what happened to them.
There was a bit of a fight.
Oh yeah, these woods are pretty dangerous and pretty violent. What'd you come back for? You guys are gonna loot some of them bodies?
Are there bodies nearby?
Oh yeah, the whole place is full of bodies.
We have concept of looting.
Do you,
No, actually,
did
we're
anything from
looking
the-
for a woman who was kidnapped.
Well, can't say I can be any help about that.
The people who were here before, did you see where they went?
Well, I just told you they all got killed, right?
By who?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about that.
Where do you... What's your story, dear friend?
Come again?
Where are you? Was able to...
Sasha, you're cutting out every time you start talking.
Yeah, it could be. You might want to switch mics if it's possible.
I'm gonna move you guys around the corner so you can actually see this thing you're talking to.
Hey,
Oh wait, is why it was not shootable?
I mean, you can there, and you're still like creeping around the corner.
Okay.
we've had like 2 conversations now. We haven't really exchanged names, and I was wondering how would we address.
I thought he gave us its name.
I told you my
Did he?
name.
Did you? I don't remember this,
You
guys.
gotta be a jerk like that. Jeez. Okay. Well, remember, my name is Elk. I thought you'd remember since. Well, I didn't put a lot of thought into it.
We recently had a lot of trauma and blows to the head, and so some memories foggy. Stressful events. Apology. So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna go check the front door.
Okay, cool. Be careful.
Anything you recommend us doing? Any advice for what we should do next?
I can't say I don't really know anything about what you should be doing. This door is also locked, but it's not barred. You could just pick this lock if you wanted to take a minute and do it. So,
Done.
yeah, done.
Check for traps.
No, it's not trapped. You know you can get in pretty easy.
Okay.
Hey, Elk, did you cross that bridge right there? Did you or not?
Have I been over there?
Have you crossed that bridge? Yes.
Oh yeah, I've been over there plenty of times. It's real dangerous. I'd say you should stay away from over there.
Yeah.
What's dangerous over there?
Like you felt that bridge was stable enough to carry you across. It looks kind of rickety.
Oh no, that bridge is fine. No, but that's where all these, these bad. This is where all those fairy people are coming from. You should stay away. I think that's.
Hey, yes. Very cool. Do you know fairies by name at all?
Sure.
Well, we ran into
Rix or Zrix, or let me get the name right. Rix.
and we thought we were being friendly, and then he turned out to be an asshole. And I was wondering if you had seen him recently.
Yeah, it sounds like fairies. You hear this kind of like ethereal, spooky laughter. He's like, yeah, it sounds like fairies.
No.
Mr. Elk, have you been to this lodge before this year? Have you been to this location before, like, a year ago?
No, sir. Don't know nothing
Where,
about it.
where did you live a year ago? In what direction?
That way, and he just gives no physical representation of which way he means it whatsoever.
I look at the sun and ask him in what direction southwest is in relation to the sun and say it's in that direction.
Boy, that sounds really complicated.
No, I just point.
Sure. That looks good.
Okay. Did you feel a difference in the type of snow or any magic that happened when you came over here? Because this area is not usually snowy, and it's quite snowy now. I'm kind of wondering if you have any ideas on what happened.
Laughs some more. It's like, yeah. Boy. You know any history professors? Maybe.
No, not much.
Session 6 notes.
Thank you, sir.
What is today?
10:23.
It was Wednesday days ago.
Kaboom.
Cool. How many session logs? Yep, that's okay.
Alright. Yeah, his yeah, I don't know what you mean. That's talking about a long time ago doesn't make sense. Every day is a blessing, right? Meanwhile, at this point, Ordu, you have gotten the door unlocked. So, if you wanted to entrez-vous,
Let's get rid of the deer first. I don't like the deer. I think someone's watching us through the deer.
Yes, actually, yes. Let's get rid of the deer.
Hey, deer. I'm about to get naked. Do you mind going away?
I'm already naked, so join the party.
I'm gonna come hug you then. You okay with that?
No, sir. You're
Okay, then I start walking towards him.
You can tell he bends over to present you horns and says, "You may want to back away because I got some horny boys up on top of my head."
Let's get some space, buddy. Why don't you give us some space and we'll give you some space and we won't fill you full of crossbows and make this unpleasant. I've enjoyed talking with you.
Deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Okay.
Poor. And he oops, I don't want to draw. Oops, sorry. That's a big black line from a big black stag.
He's presenting.
He takes a step like that away. He says,
Keep going, buddy.
I'm not your way, buddy.
Keep going across the bridge, please.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Okay. And once he's out of sight, does he go out of sight or does he stay in sight the whole time?
He stays inside. He basically gets to the other side of the bridge and is just like, yeah, can't get me now, jerk. You've been outwitted.
I pull out my crossbow and be like, dude, I don't want to fight this. You're a nice dude, but let's get some space, please. Come on. Go away. We'll meet you tomorrow. Why don't we meet by that?
Why are you so mean to the deer?
Because I think he is the minion of a summoner or wizard or fairy who's going to try and fuck us. I don't want him to be near us when we're doing anything. And I might be wrong, but that's what Amur thinks.
It's obviously not kind. Or it's crazy suspicious. I don't like him at all.
Yeah, I kind of want him to go away forever.
Yes.
Hey, dear, why don't we meet you? Are there any mountains in the distance, Adam?
Mountains? Not really. But, I mean, there's like ridge lines and stuff. You're on the top of one ridge line.
Can we see another ridge line that's the southwest? Are there any obvious physical landmarks that are about 5 to 10 miles away?
Yeah.
I describe one to the deer and say, why don't we meet you there tomorrow? And we'll bring you some nice berries.
Cool. I'm a fan.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. And he just watches you.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot you with this crossbow now unless you would decide to meet us there.
I'm gonna charge your fucking ass over if you don't talking to me that way. Hey, Ordu, when you open the door, there's a bunch of dudes standing around in there that look pretty dead.
Makes stretchy noises. Bear nose bad.
These appear to be the guys you killed earlier that chased you out of the house. They're just standing around looking dead.
Like undead or dead?
They're undead. They are like, that's why you couldn't hear anything moving around in there because they were utterly still. And then when the door opens, you see the ones on the opposite hall just kind of lurch and creak as they turn to face you and zombie their way over to you.
Hey guys, we got bigger issues than a talking deer right now.
I cast Divine Favor.
Alright, let's roll initiative to see how fast that happens. Whoa, look at all these numbers.
Whoa.
Oh, right. What did you do? Wow, what a terrible roll.
Human zombie. This is the best music to fight human zombies with.
Why did I put music on you? Thank you. Good idea.
Wait, and there's music? Where's the music?
On my Spotify and on his Spotify.
Jared, hook a girl up
Boop boop.
to our radio station.
Wait, you have a radio station?
Yeah.
Well, it's not our radio station.
It is our radio station.
We own it.
Wait, what?
Alright, Alyosha's first, so he is in Protect You mode. Maris, you heard the siren song of Undead and jumped into action.
Yeah, basically. I'm not gonna get in front of Ordu because I'm not stupid. But I will move to there and cast Bless.
Blessings of
Gozreh. I'm not really sure Gozreh is a god who you really want the blessings of, but that's neither here nor there.
Here comes zombie, shuffle. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Hello, I am going to be the chokehold zombie. Amur, you are up.
Okay. I'll delay till after Ordu moves.
Just so you know, you didn't get your spell off.
I know. I'll delay till after Ordu.
No, Ordu.
Ordu. Will.
That zombie walked up to be the first thing to go. Good
Right.
choice, zombie.
We'll turn off Bear Nose as a free action, turn on Bear Claws as a standard action, and then I will get nimbly angry about this as a free action, a swift action, or whatever it is. So controlled rage, dex only. And
Sounds complicated.
I do lots of stuff. And I am holding the door. It's all my action.
You just close the door back?
No, I'm holding the door. Right.
Oh, you were going to defend the door. I get you. Okay. Right, Amur is up then.
Amur decides to. Oh boy, I don't know now. I guess I'll just march in past. He'll provoke the AOP. March in past Ordu and right over to here.
Okay.
And then he'll command Ayasha to attack zombies.
Okay. Go back though, because it's not Ayasha's turn.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get in that room pretty easy. Does provoke. Zombies are real dumb, so he's gonna take it.
I'm gonna walk right past him. I don't care. Just
A slam attack, a 23 to hit. For 10 damage.
Does a 23 hit?
Yep.
23 probably hits. I don't know about that though. 21 is your target. Yes, 23 hits. 10 damage. Oh, that hurts.
Zombies hit hard and hit fast.
Okay, I'll punch him back because I don't like that. Two-headed Morningstar.
Easy hit. Zombies aren't hard to hit. Didn't seem to do a heck of a lot of damage though.
Let me try to figure out where I am though, standing. So I started here. So that's. How do I do the thing where it does each step? It tracks each step. What is it?
Hit spacebar. You can't do it with a ruler. You have to do it while you're moving.
Oh, I see.
Forward,
Cool.
you're up. You can't move through his space.
Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna get to there then. Cool.
What do you want to do, Zyth?
Oh man, it's a lot of health, huh? Acid splash.
On the Zombo?
Yeah.
Well, too bad there's too many bears in the way.
Yep.
Here come more zombies, hooray. This one is gonna try and swipe at you. You guys have cover from each other, so not a big deal. 16 to hit, get out of town.
I'm sorry, who is the zombie swiping at?
Amur.
21 is your target.
More than that, you've got cover. And these other zombies just kind of pile up. Folren, you see that deer not really come charging over the bridge. It just kind of walks back this way and not really seem to be paying any attention to what's going on. And you hear it call out. It's like, "Hey, you killing them guys again?" You gave Alyosha the attack command?
Yes.
Alright, boom. Does the zombie have combat reflexes? Doesn't look like.
I would highly doubt it.
Alright, so do some kitten swiping.
Yep, I'm just finishing up Bless. Attacks. Attack. Range. +1. Yosha attacks. He has a single attack, so that will just be a bite. 25 to hit for 4 damage.
Delicious. Looks at you with betrayal of making him eat in this rotting corpse.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna pass through Ordu and then see what the room looks like. I think there's something off, really, like, Adam, with the way you've got vision on here, because I can only see 4 squares in front of me. And I have dark vision, so I'm very confused.
like 4 diagonal squares? Because like the farthest you
No.
should be able to see is right here.
Yeah, I can see to there, but I can't see. Like, I should arguably also be
You should also be.
right.
You should be what?
You cut out.
I should also be able to see like over on the sides, left to right, at some point, right?
Yes, but there are walls on either side. The room doesn't actually open up until like the middle of the zombies.
Oh, okay, that makes more sort of. But then, how is it possible that 2 people are occupying squares there?
Because I'm being generous.
Okay.
Oh, squeezing with sister.
Yeah. Well, I don't think channel goes through walls, so
Is it a spread? Or... I think it's a spread. I think it goes around corners.
I believe it is described as a wave of energy.
It should have a mechanical term, spread.
It is
or
a burst.
Burst. Then no, it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. So
You are for certain you would hit at least 5 zombies. The 5 zombies you could see, you are certain you would hit all of them.
okay, then is it possible for me to move into Ordu Square and then move out of Ordu Square? Is that allowable? Just
That's
make
not allowable. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do it if it's not within the rules.
No. So you are going to move into an illegal square, take your action, and then be forced into the most available square. So
I don't know what that means, but okay.
nice.
So that's channeling to inflict and to do damage. And the DC is 13.
Let's take 1 damage. Oh no.
Based off your charisma?
There's no bonus. to this.
There's no bonus to channeling, and it is based off your charisma.
Alright, here we go. Roll saving throw. Will save. DC's 13.
Yes.
More failed than passed. Alright, so here I go knocking a lot of hit points down. Boom. Boom.
Then where do I end up at the end of all this? Adam?
Either the square you started from or to the left. Probably the square you started from. Alright, there's a bunch of holy radiant damage.
Aye.
And zombie's turn. It's going to... The last thing that ever attacked it was Alyosha. So here comes a full slam barrage. Which is a single slam attack. 10 to hit.
No. 14.
And Ordu is up.
Alrighty. I'm going to full attack. So, first claw. 5 damage.
5
Does it drop it?
damage. Destroys him.
Cool deal. And then, is there another one within swipe range? No.
You would need to
You
take
take a 5-foot step in the middle.
Which you can.
You take a 5-foot. Yeah.
I'm feeling bold. Oh, 5-foot step.
Whirlwind attack.
Yay! And then I'll attack the one directly above. No. The one to my right, 1 square.
3 o'clock.
So that guy. I will attack him. Attack.
Oh, you missed a zombie.
Not so effective.
Any other
All right,
maneuvers?
done.
Done. Amur.
This guy is cover for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still punch him in the face. Full run stuff.
Who needs cover?
22 damage. Or 10 damage, and then if he's still dead, then another 11.
Yeah. The Morning Star is not particularly effective. You figured that out by now. The maul barely gets a bite in, but it is enough to destroy it too. So, destroyed.
And I'll take a 5-foot step.
You can't take that, it's too hard of a corner.
Cool.
Folren.
I'll try and acid that dude.
You sound so enthusiastic. Can't wait till you're
Yeah.
level 5 wizard.
I'm gonna take a step up here.
Zombie's turn. This one is gonna full barrage Ordu again. A 12 to hit. It's probably a miss. Zombie attacking Ordu again.
Yay!
A 15 to hit.
Nope.
And then zombie taking a 5-foot step and attacking Ordu again. A 15 to hit.
No, sir.
And Alyosha will attack the one in the corner. Crash, boom, bang. Let me roll some bites. Bite attack. That's a miss with the corner.
Corey. Yeah. Come here.
Is it 2 claws or 1 claw? How many claw attacks does he have?
Well, he has 2 claws.
Oh, yeah, but these zombies have 2 arms. They've only got 1 slam attack. They headbutt you every time. That's what it is.
Actually, they're all missing an arm. They're zombies.
Alright, well, Alyosha rips that one to shreds, but not destroyed. And Maris, you're up.
Okay.
Which episode is that? It looks old as fuck. I don't remember that.
How do you get the map to move up and down?
Right click and pan. What I do is...
Not possible for me. I'm on a Mac.
You can't right click.
There's the scroll on the bottom left. On the
Well,
bottom.
she doesn't have a mouse either, so... Yeah, there's scroll bars. Should be on the top and bottom. I use my mouse wheel and then hold shift to mouse wheel left and right. Also, I think if you click the arrow, select move, there's a hand tool where you can use it to pan as well.
That figured out. Thank you. This is what happens for not having a mouse. Alright, so I'm gonna move to the doorway, and can I see how many zombies are left in the room?
You see 3. You probably don't think there are any more. 2 have been destroyed, so you probably turned all of them already. Or attempted to turn all. You don't think there are any more zombies because they would probably be pressing against the bulk of flesh at the back end.
Okay. Then, based on knowledge religion, do I know if zombies are immune to cold or anything?
Most undead are. So...
Okay, that's what I thought. In that case, I guess I'll channel again.
Wait, I take it back. Most undead have cold as nothing special.
Oh, really? Why did I think they were immune?
I thought they were too. Maybe that's a 3 thing.
Yeah. Alright, then I'm gonna use Icicle. So, it's a ranged touch attack against any foe within 30 feet. So I will aim at the zombie directly in front of Ordu on a diagonal.
Okay. Putting that base attack bonus to work. You can do it.
What's happening?
She's firing a laser.
Lasers!
Oh man, 13 is so close to hitting, it barely misses. Blame Ordu entirely for it.
What? Fine.
You big bear bulk.
I'm not bulky, I'm big bone.
I'm bare boned.
Bare bone.
Hey, it's your turn. There was suddenly this icicle comes flying through your legs.
That's
Yowza.
silly. I will swipe first at the one directly to my north. Swipe.
Destroyed.
Alright, cool. And then I will move into his space and swipe at the one to my right. Swipe.
Not destroyed.
And gives him plenty of room to move in and do what he's got to do. Wipe him up, buddy.
You know it.
Come get to wiping.
Take a 5-foot step and begin the attacks. Boom.
Which one?
That'll be on the one on the bottom, because I'm not worried about the one on the top. And then I'll have secondary maw as well.
Yes, you destroy it.
Cool.
You guys are good at fighting zombies.
Zombies.
Folren?
Let me look. Okay. Well, Fallen can't see shit.
You just like,
So I guess he's going here. Okay.
look at all that
Fallen can see.
wall of fur.
Well, geez, you can handle this math, but acid splash. The math is it didn't hit.
Oh, you're right. It didn't hit. Zombie attacks. Zombie attacks. Slam. 14 to hit. All right, good night. Alyosha. Alyosha's gonna have
Alyosha.
to. Yeah, the last command he's got was attack, so he'll provoke. Slam. A 9. Awesome.
Where's my Alyosha attacks? Alright, let's scroll over here. Alyosha attacks. And bite.
Would he keep attacking
No.
the zombie that fell on the ground, maybe? That's what the heal command's for. Destroyed. He'll keep attacking this one.
He moved, actually. He moved 10 feet.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have. He would have kept attacking the same
Oh, I
one,
see.
even though it was down. So, yeah, no more zombies. The deer managed to wander back across the bridge, but it never interfered with the combat in any way.
Okay, let's still get rid of him though.
I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds. And
Nice.
5 HP. Well, I guess I tell Alyosha to guard at the door and bark real loud if something goes wrong, and I guess we close the door and search the house. Not bark, growl, roar. Words.
Yeah. I'll use my cat lingo, man.
Yep.
Does that explain why the walls are the way they were, Rachel? Once you get
Yeah, but I still find it super annoying because it's just super annoying.
Is that where I'm pinging a door or a window?
That is a door. You are on. These are all interior doors.
See, that's why I think I left earlier, because we thought those were windows.
No, we were told there's nothing here, which
Yeah.
shouldn't have bought.
Well, you guys didn't really. You never came to this side of the room. You were only over there on the lake.
We were right here, right? We were walking up the stairs, and so
Yeah.
I assumed all those were windows. And it was a small single room house, and that was
You
my
guys
mistake.
haven't been on this side of the lodge much at all.
Maybe-
You haven't
maybe-
investigated this room at all.
Detect magic.
Hey,
Could you describe doors next time, just so we know that they're not windows, because they're hard to tell from when you don't have the see-through with the light detection.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, the doors should be way more visible than the windows are.
Like this one and this one look very similar.
That's a window to the south, and that's a door to
Yeah.
the north.
Cool. Okay, detect magic, I guess is what he does.
There's you guys' magic, which is blocking pretty much everything out. The lingering animation magic, which is pretty much spent at this point. You don't see any magic that is out of place.
Okay, whenever we open a door, I'm constantly casting detect magic.
You are.
I cast resistance. I cast guidance and resistance on whoever's going to open the door. Then I step way back.
Which door first?
The order you get to choose.
I'm working on it. I'm typing that out because there's a lot of people talking. I'm gonna go with the door that I'm at currently, and then go the one below me to there, and then go to there.
All right. Well, first door explodes open like normal, and it's kitchen. It looks like it's been left in a mess, but otherwise isn't in terrible condition. It's chilly, so nothing is frozen or anything. It does not. You don't see anything that's immediately. I should investigate this. It's just a kitchen. That's not to say you can't percept in there, but yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Hey.
Perception on this door for traps. Traps and locks.
Southern door is a little room, little bed looking room.
Better. Very good.
I need to
This door
That door's
get
locked.
these fucking bad rolls out of me. There we go.
locked.
That door's locked.
Perception door. Is it trapped also?
Does not seem to be trapped.
Okay, well I will try to disable this lock.
Alright, take some time doing that.
And that's just rolling for it. That's a 16.
You know, it's really funny that the example they give for taking 20 is disable device, but it also says disable device can't be used if there's a chance of failure, which you can break the lock. I think that's funny.
It's also contradictory.
It's like
20 or 21.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you get in the room. Nothing special in here to make it seem like locking it was important. It's just like a nicer little bedroom than the other one.
Okay, then this door here.
Hold on. Before we go in, I call Alyosha over and see if he can scent the woman. See if he smells anything.
He starts sniffing around.
Oh yeah, I've got scent up as well.
Oh, you do. Well, then you can do it because you probably have better scent than he does.
Yeah, Alyosha, you can tell, keeps getting distracted by these zombies.
Yep. So he's doing
Alright,
his
then take
pacing.
this
There
last
you go.
door for traps.
That door is also locked, but does not appear to be trapped.
Okay. We'll try to open it with taking 10 for 20.
Come on, move away.
Hold on a second.
Move to that side of the room.
Oh, and wait, before you go to that, the previous door you opened did have another door in the corner that seemingly
I know,
will
I
go to
thought.
the same room.
I was ignoring it.
Okay. It was new information. Yeah, it doesn't look anything special. You get it unlocked.
Yay!
This room is substantially nicer than all the rest of them. There's a ritzy bed in here and a big maple chest. All kinds of nice sturdy bed. Perceptioning.
Yep.
We take 20,
Alright, you tear the room to pieces.
and we take 20 on all the rooms we split up and do it all out.
I take a 23, because that's what I rolled, and also 24.
You don't find any
For
kind
the
of documents or
previous one.
informations or treasure. There's a big padlock on this trunk that makes it seem like it could be valuable.
Cool. I'll leave that 1 second. There's this door right here. Check it as well. Is there any locks or anything on it?
Yes.
You do the locky thing. Take 10 for 20.
Guidance.
Yeah, you sure you wouldn't rather deal with this chest first?
No. I want to check the door.
Okay.
Doing a full clear. Doing a SWAT. You're getting the sense picking these locks that they're probably just all keyed the same. It's just maybe somebody carries the door.
Okay.
When you're inside
Alright.
the room, you can unlock it pretty easy to get out.
Back to this chest.
Guidance.
21, get it open?
Does a 21 get it open? No. This is a good, sturdy lock. It's gonna take some trying.
Okay, let's do some trying here.
Guidance.
Try it in.
From now on, whenever he disabled devices, I guidance him. Just to add that to there.
That
Gonna
didn't
be
do it.
here all day. You figure that if you took your time and took 20, this could probably take you several hours to get unlocked.
How about
Oh, you
29?
did it. Oh, you did it.
Or less than a minute.
Well, disable device takes several rounds. So
It does take time.
It's a special skill. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. All looks valuable.
Yay, found valuable loot.
There's a whole bunch of valuables in here. You ready to make a list?
No.
I mean, sure, but is it not in an easily copy-pastable format?
You know what copy and paste. Actually, it's not because there's secrets in the middle of it.
Okay.
So
All right,
there's
Oh, we'll also check it for secret compartments.
check the secrets for secrets. There's a gold ingot with a Taldan seal on it.
With a what?
With a Taldan royal seal on it.
Sasha, stop.
Sasha,
Keep on
stop.
while you're doing that.
He's really mad at some. Silverway, I'd imagine.
We found treasure! He's making space for it.
Can we?
Alright, here comes me typing.
You can at least mute the mic.
Yeah, seriously, Sasha.
Wait, on a gold ingot. A spyglass. A silver lady's ring.
The first show has Hall of Fame members during the season, but it kind of drops off during the postseason.
I'm with you.
Hey Sasha,
Yo!
you have got to mute your mic when you go away.
Oh, was it on still?
It was awful.
Sorry. Cool. You can't mute me? Okay.
I mean, we all can individually, but I can't mute you for everyone.
Sorry.
I like your summarization for writing, I guess.
That's a really long yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised it has individual stats.
That's why I told you I couldn't copy paste this.
Would you say it's fine? Okay, I detect magic on the dagger, I guess.
Sasha, for fuck's sake, mute your microphone.
Why? I'm right here.
No, it's your
Okay, well, there's
pots
a lot
and
of
pans
noise in the
are hella
background.
loud.
Really raucous.
I'm sorry, I'll try and think about how I can fix the game.
Alright, that's everything. Are
Acting
you,
like
are
a
you ready to
scroll
read magic
case.
off the bat?
What?
Are you ready to read magic at a moment's notice?
Read magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, because you're a diviner. So
Do I have read magic? I got read magic.
I got read magic in spades. Alright, here's these scrolls.
Ooh.
Neat.
I cast Unseen Servant.
Unseen Servant is the best.
Nobody sees you do it.
Immediately did it. Oh shit, where'd he go?
It just makes you invisible and start having to do the party's chores.
It's awesome. Have
I
we
say
checked
you
upstairs
start
yet?
cleaning up this mess.
What did you say, Dan?
I was telling the unseen servant Jeeves to start cleaning up the mess.
What did you say, Sasha?
I don't
Have we checked
actually
upstairs yet?
cast Unseen Servant.
No, you guys didn't. You didn't really get a chance to explore upstairs because you
Well, we
jumped out the window.
stole a bunch of stuff. Exactly. We stole a bunch of stuff and left.
I think you
Cool.
stole everything and left. You stole everything that
Probably.
looked immediately valuable.
Hey, those bodies, do they have anything of value on them?
You want to ruffle around on them?
Yar.
Give me a perception check.
I take my time doing it.
Give me a perception check roll.
Give me a perception check now. Do. I'm not checking his butthole. I'm not getting that intimate with
Nah,
his dude.
the perception check, they don't have anything on them. The perception check is for you to deduce that it looks like they've already been looted.
Gotcha.
Because when you fought them the first time, they were, armed dudes, and it looks like their pockets have been turned out and such.
Gotcha. Do we check those rooms there? Hey, this chest over here, is it a chest of interesting things as well?
No, there's nothing of consequence in there. Just household goods and stuff. Linens, towels, blankets.
And take time looking around the kitchen, anything? Ooh, that's a smart idea.
Wait a second. I'm missing a room here. Kitchen. Alright, well, you guys have... Let me delete all these walls, because you guys have pretty thoroughly...
Oh, thank God.
Sorry. I gotta wait till you get everywhere first. Alright, here we go, deleting all these walls. Hopefully the game doesn't die.
Oh, thank God. So much nicer.
Oh, we can see! We can see!
The sun has come out!
Hey, leave my paid benefits for being a Roll20 subscriber alone.
Yeah.
It's only annoying in really oddly shaped spaces because it casts some
Amur!
shadows.
We went into the stable with the reflex save.
No, I'm not going to the table. I'm looking to see where the room that the upstairs room is.
Oh, it's on the other side of that wall.
Can you put me into it?
I'll just delete that wall.
Thank you, sir. And I will take a reflex save if I'm the first one to disable. That would have triggered that.
It should work. Yeah, there you go. So if you want to
There you go.
teleport down to the upstairs, it's...
Bottom right. Cool.
Okay, so the last question I heard was talking about what's in the kitchen. Let us describe the kitchen. Large fireplace. The fire is long since gone out. Looks like they were cooking a big pot of soup or stew of some kind. There's lots of supplies in here, a lot more supplies than what you would expect from like run-of-the-mill bandits. But there's not a lot of information you can gather from that other than someone had fine taste. You don't see anything that looks super useful or obvious here.
Okay. Hey, Adam, what is this thing right there?
That's outside.
I realize that, but what is it?
Didn't really get a good look at it. It's just like an extension on the building.
Okay. Then upstairs to the space. And let's thoroughly ransack this place for information.
Okay.
I'm going to keep an eye on the elk while everyone else is searching, so I think at this point no one else is.
Siege
I'll just
watch.
sit right
It's
here.
like, you find anything cool in there?
Not much. It's kind of boring.
I could have swore they was all dead. Upstairs.
I'll start telling jokes to the deer.
Oh, how precious. An L-shaped table. That's obvious. Bunch of chairs. None of them have any cushions or smells. There's a big board on the wall that had a big piece of paper on it that has been torn down and brought with you guys for the past 4 days that has a bunch of plot information on it.
Can I see the big piece of paper?
Sure.
I was not here last session. What is this big piece of paper of which people speak?
You unfurl on this table a big map.
I cut out.
The map is definitely the area you are in. It's pretty obvious for you to tell that with your super geography skills. The lodge you're in is mapped, as well as the ridge lines and the main paths to move through it. There are several points that mark the neighboring road and have a couple of circle points on them. One of them is the place where you found that ambush, that caravan that got smashed up. There's also a big kind of X mark that is west, kind of west and not really southwest, but just mostly west. But if you wanted to get to it, judging by the drawing of this map, you kind of have to swirl around it because it's in a valley, and with as treacherous as the ice is on these ridge lines, trying to traverse directly down a ridge is probably dangerous. But it's basically like not really in the center of the forest, but it's pretty far to the west, maybe like 3 or 4 days, judging by how slow you're having to go. It's notated on the map as something called Somir Valley. You are currently on the high ridge south of Lake Termaine.
Can someone note that in the log? I'm currently busy. The Sunmere Valley thing.
I would if I knew how to note things in logs. Okay, so we're currently where, Adam?
You are in the High Sentinel Lodge, and it is
The what? Sorry, the High Signal?
the High Sentinel Lodge on the
The
High
what?
Ridge. The High
Sentinel.
Sentinel Lodge.
Sorry, that was not the word I thought you were saying, and the word I thought you were saying made no sense in context. And the High Sentinel Lodge is where?
It's on the High Ridge, northeast of the Somir Valley. I can give you guys an image later, but not right now. I need to do some editing on it.
Oodoo.
We are in Colorado.
Okay, so and on the map it looks like we want to go down towards the Somir Valley. That's where this map is directing.
No, there's several places on it that are circled. They're all spots on the road that follows along the edge of the woods. The only thing that's different is that there's an X. It's the closest mark to you, but it's deeper into the forest, in a valley.
In the Somir Valley?
Yeah,
Okay, so the X is in the Somir Valley.
yeah, that is the closest mark.
Do I need to do a knowledge, nature, survival, whatever, to figure out how hard it would be to get there and how long it would take?
No, you don't know, or you don't need to make the roll. You figure it's going to be hard more than anything for the weather. It shouldn't be a terribly difficult travel, and you're smart enough to make the calculations based on how you've been moving so far that it will probably take maybe 4 days to get there.
Can I perception check these, I imagine, deer heads on the walls?
They're all looking back at you.
I don't know, see if they're weird in any way. They have gems for eyes.
They are exquisite trophies showing how macho and masculine these hunter folks are.
Look at her.
Now all I can think about is zombified wall-mounted deer.
They just talk at you all day.
I'm still that for my
Really
next
be quite
campaign.
terrifying.
Alright, I'm gonna go check whatever this place is over here.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Outside is, you open up the door, hurl it open. It doesn't explode. What number is that door?
Cool thing we got to that opening part before the perception part, but that works.
It's tool shed. There's axes, shovels, hammers.
Hey, we take
That was
this stuff.
all broken up. I have no idea what you said.
It's a tool shed.
Gotcha.
Axes, shovels, hammers.
Gotcha.
We take relevant things and put them on our sled.
What's relevant?
Axes and tools and hammers.
Nah, that's more weight than we need. Like,
Chuck it off if we don't need it. Definitely at least one saw, 2 axes,
I mean, yeah, that,
two hammers, a bunch of nails.
of all the things that we should take with us, this is probably be the thing I want to take the most.
Yeah, no, we're basically whatever. I think we only have like 80 pounds of stuff on the sled, and we can carry 200. So I'm gonna put like 40 pounds worth of tools and nails and plywood, or not plywood, like wood beams and leather strips, and basically the entire tool shed.
I mean,
It also helps out of 3.
Yeah, it's basically like mundane, routine upkeep, like building upkeep stuff in here.
Yep.
So it's the
Also,
stuff
is that a bear rug on the floor of the main building?
Yes.
How
So-
gross is it with blood? I will prestidigitation the blood off of it and put that on the sled too. And all the blankets from all of it.
You put the blood on the sled?
No, I'll take the blood off of it.
I prestidigitation the blood off and put it on the sled. How does Ordu feel about this bear rug?
Oh yeah, sorry, buddy.
I'm not bothered by it. It's not a real. It's not a me bear.
Ordu,
Bear
how do you
bear.
feel about the trapdoor under the bear rug? Obviously.
That I am more interested in.
Hey,
That is a little Scooby-Doo, huh?
that's awesome. I'm so happy that worked. Sasha's scavenging incident pays off.
What's more
Classic
Scooby-Doo,
guy.
the deer heads or the bear rug?
Jinkies.
I was seriously considering wearing the bear rug as like a cloak and be like, I'm a real bear, guys. But I was like, that's really kind of morbid and strange. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, please don't. That gets into the realm of mildly creepy.
There's another real fancy padlock on it.
Oh, yeesh.
I don't.
Okay, doing some rolls here.
Let me
you
see
make
if
me roll
it's
for this?
particularly better than the other one.
First roll, let's check it out. Pretty good.
Yeah, you get it. It's not as complicated as the other one. The bear skin was the big deterrent here.
And then perception
Ooh,
check
bear.
before I
That's
cut
why
that
you
part.
had me make you roll that perception check.
I guess if you're gonna put down a bearskin rug, you might as well have it covering a trapdoor.
Right.
Yeah, you get it open, or you get it unlocked, and doesn't seem to be trapped. I mean, doesn't seem to be trapped.
All right, it's not trapped, guys. Pop it open.
There is a little, very, very, very steep little, like, 6-step staircase that leads to kind of a crawl space under the house.
Well, if it went up, I'd be very surprised.
What is this horse shit? We're breaking Euclidean rules. All right. Does low light vision see anything of interest down there other than dust motes?
There's a bunch of boxes and barrels down there. There's a blanket that's spread out on the floor that is not particularly comfortable looking, and some like half-eaten food and discarded refuse. But nobody's down here. It's empty.
Was there any flour in the kitchen?
There's flour in the kitchen.
Okay. I hand out flour to everyone and they say, Amur, don't let anyone... Actually, no. I look at Alyosha and say, sniff, do you see anyone down here? He was invisible once already.
It sniffs around and doesn't find anything.
Okay. I poke... no, Order, do you have your scent up most of the time?
Yeah, unless we're in combat, I am running scent mode. Until
Okay.
I get the feet, let me run dual mode.
So we know that there's an invisible wizard sometimes, so I'm just going to remind that to you to pay attention to it.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
We had an invisible wizard last time, so I just remind you of that.
I also assume no magic.
No magic. Ruining your day.
Not everything can be magic.
Percept down there, looking for other secret entrances or getaways, etc., etc., etc. Take 10 for 20. I'm sorry, 17 I think is what my bonus is for perception.
The room definitely looks like it had been occupied for several days by probably a prisoner, because there's a big mess in the corner.
You poopy mess in the corner. That's gross.
But there's no sign of
Representation anyway.
Yeah, there's no sign of what produced this.
No secret messages written in scat on the walls.
Not so much.
Does it smell like girl poop? Because girl poop smells different than guy poop.
That's super true.
Well, that's not true at all, because everyone knows.
No. That isn't true, actually. I think you'll find.
One day.
This conversation is making me deeply uncomfortable.
We'll keep I'll pitch up the blanket and go through some of the crates down there. Is there like provision supplies? What kind of supplies are in them?
Yeah, it's provisions and stuff. It's like most of them are like long-term kind of provisions, like not like food or storage or anything, but like extra blankets, clothes, and like things to repair armor with, and
Gotcha.
like fletching materials and stuff like that.
Cool, you.
And there's, I
Okay.
mean, you could probably take that very steep staircase off the wall and turn it into a ladder if you want.
Let's also start ripping the doors off the hinges. Like, where
Yeah.
does it end?
We just throw the whole building onto the sled.
Take it apart piece by
Hey, yeah,
piece.
perfect. Leoman's secure shelter.
You play Minecraft, right?
But yeah, it's empty down here, so I'm gonna go to the restroom, and you guys formulate your opinions on how big of a jerk I am.
I think maybe we can have Alyosha and myself try to scent out this blanket and see if we can't kind of maybe sniff out if it walked away where it went, and we can grab some provisions from the stables if there's any provisions in there.
Fro's gonna be an asshole with that deer.
I believe we have to make a reflex save. At some
Yeah, the
point.
building's collapsing. Get out of the way.
No, God.
Okay, so clearly our kidnappee is missing, is gone. Do we want to pursue her or not? Because it seems to me that's the $64,000 question at this point.
I'm with you.
It does sound like
Alternatively, we could just say screw it and spend a few days in this attractive cabin.
It's very nice.
I like that plan.
I don't really want to stay here that long.
I mean, I don't
This
have any
place is
problem
substantially
figuring
easier
it.
to get back to than going. Like, we basically lost the majority of the day, like getting to this point.
Yeah.
Just traveling. So if you did need a place to withdraw to, this seems easier to deal with logistically than going back to Hildren.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
this is a good base of operation, at least going forward. It might not be a bad idea to wait a day or two here and see if any other rangers who are out on missions come back.
It's going to take 4 days to get to the X on the map.
Burst of Radiance. The best spells that clerics can cast.
That's actually zone of truth.
So yeah, McElroy approved.
Remove fear is always a solid one, like super solid.
Your elements.
Endure elements is super great, which I think you get from weather.
Well, I can use a version of Endure Elements from my weather domain, yeah.
Oh,
It's not the same as the spell, but it's similar. Yeah, I don't get access to Burst of Radiance yet.
Is it second level?
Well,
It is second level.
pools of radiance.
Yeah, maybe I can do like drips of Radiance, but I don't have burst capacity.
I mean, blessed is always good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, do you want me to like prep multiple copies? Because I can.
Alright,
I would leave a lot of copies open. I would prep for one combat and that's it. And leave the rest, you don't know what we're doing.
Wheels Day morning, heavy rain.
Oh,
Also a video game.
Yeah, Jason.
is it purple though?
Sean.
Purple rain.
Nope, it's jury and imposing, but seems natural.
Yeah, very well.
So I guess
You get it unlocked, and inside is a little bag and like a folded up piece of paper.
Okay.
Is a little bag full of a small green herby cluster?
The
Or
little bag is, you look through it and it's pretty obviously a healer's kit with just
sweet.
a couple of uses left. The note says, hey, had to come back and get my stuff. Figured you'd come ransack the place and didn't want to give you a free pass. And it's signed Tacey.
Chixie.
What? What? That bitch, we gave her a free job, saved her life, and she treats us like this. How rude.
How rude.
Alright, and then this room, the big room here was, we checked these chests already, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Last time you were here?
Yes, that is the one room that you guys ransacked a little bit. Actually, ooh boy.
But it'd still be.
That's me remembering that like half of you guys call it fevers.
Oh shit, you're right. Oops.
I definitely got that thing.
I think it was only me and Ordu though.
Ordu was the only one that it got. You passed
Oh,
it
really?
safe.
Oh, okay.
But you've been down for enough time where you probably would have gotten over it for it. Give me 2 fort saves.
Okay.
Because the effects are pretty rough.
Yeah, I bet it is. Defensive. Fort number 1.
Good. That's the first day back in Hildren. Oh,
That's not so
God.
good. So no progress or reversion?
You revert. Okay, well, it's not any kind of ability score penalty that kills you. So we spent 3 nights. So you'll hate it because you're a barbarian, but the effect is that you are fatigued and sickened
No.
after that fight where you stretched your legs and started raging. You're like, whoa, I can't keep this up. It was you exerted yourself and realized you're not recovering as fast as you should.
I am hungover, guys.
Tomorrow I can prep a spell that will help.
Well, we had 2 days. Would he have known in town?
You would have seen that he was sick in town, so if you could have already done remove disease, then problem solved.
Well, no, I can't cure him, but there's a spell that removes sickness. It basically suppresses the disease, and it gives a +4 morale bonus on saving throws.
Well,
Take that with a +4 instead.
that all happened. So don't worry about it. You're better. You guys are not morons. So you spent some resources days ago and got over your natural affliction. Problem solved.
Hooray!
Alright.
If you had to spend so long in town, it would have been harder to do.
I'm gonna go talk to Elk.
Yeah, the elk is like, hey, what, yeah, whoa, well, you guys are having a party in there.
Yeah, what do you want?
Why are you still here?
That was interesting. You went in there and started. I thought they were all dead. to be honest.
They are again.
They're killed twice.
Yeah, like potatoes.
Sure.
Tomatoes, whatever.
What is it? What is it? No, you want something.
I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
I'm not arguing that, but there is something you want from us.
There is.
Yeah, what he said.
No, or it's you don't want us to do something. I don't know what it is, but
He's watching us for someone else. Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, that sounds good. That makes me like a real important kind of folk, doesn't it? Having a job, keeping an eye on things. Sounds like right and proper deer work.
it sure does. Stop it though.
Okay.
Stop it, boy.
Stop it, you.
Enough.
I think we might spend some time here. I absolutely don't want. If
What in this
I think we
house?
have a conversation in front of him, saying that we're definitely gonna spend at least 3 days here,
all right,
and then we're gonna sneak out in the middle of the night.
all right. Actually, that's really smart.
We'll see if it works. I'm gonna try. That's all I got so far, guys.
Dang.
Actually, shit, that changes my entire. Okay, I like that more.
This changes everything.
I like that a lot more. Like, all right.
Yeah,
Well-
I think we definitely we tell them that we're leaving, and then we don't leave. And I like.
You can tell them you're going back to Heldren, or you're just like,
We're just gonna spend 3 days here, and then we go into the house and we close all the windows except for one on the top floor with curtains. But before we do that, we raid the house. We take all the candlesticks, all the plywood material, all the bedrolls, all the things that are nice and pleasant, including all the food in the kitchen.
everything that is reasonable.
Right,
Yes.
Like I spend like 3 hours provisioning and repacking my sled. I go outside, I chop down a tree, I put some wood on there, I do all the stuff. Yeah.
Neat.
Is there any tinder in by the fireplace? And then I guess we all take a nap. We ask if the Barbarian doesn't mind staying up, so all the spellcasters can sleep. Amur
well-
could help too. And then we'll sleep until like midnight, or whenever the moon comes out.
Clerics and oracles get their spells back at a certain time of day. Wizards can do it whenever they please.
Yeah, I get mine back in the morning, like it or
Comes
not.
at morning. Okay, fine. Well, who's it? Folren, did you spend any spells in the fight?
No.
Okay, so then we wait until it's, whatever time. Then we sneak upstairs, look out the window. If he's still in the front yard, does he go away at like, let's say 11 p.m.? What is the elk doing at 11 p.m.?
Late at night, you look outside, and it's just kind of like curled up under the tree over there.
Okay, we'll sneak out the other way. We'll open the door, and he can't see us, and we'll walk into the woods bit. Oh, I guess there's a riverway to it. There's a bridgeway to go.
Yeah, we gotta go across that bridge past it, and I'm sure that our donkey Gregory and the sled will make tons of noise.
If we look at the map, do we see any other alternative fording points or other bridges?
Well, this bridge isn't actually noted on the map. When you take a look at it to try and figure out routing, there's a lake to the north and a lake to the south. It would be substantially out of your way to go anywhere else. There's not any bridges noted on the map anywhere, so like.
Okay, but so the bridge leads directly towards where we're trying to go to down the valley.
Yes.
And can we knowledge geography to intuit places that might be fordable? Hold on, is the river iced over or flowing?
It is flowing.
Hey, I have an idea.
Yo.
Go
How
for it.
about we cross the bridge and we just, tell the Mr. Elk here, we're gonna cross the bridge and it's cool and all, and then once we reach the other side, we cut the bridge.
Why?
Because at some point we might want to get back across.
I mean, yeah.
I also think that, I think we're just gonna have to deal with the elk possibly seeing us. I don't think with the
fine with
cart
that.
and the
I
donkey.
could
I don't really
care less.
understand why people are so paranoid about the elk.
Because he's evil.
Because he's evil.
I'm
Okay,
really spooked by the elk.
wait
a minute, hold on.
Evil.
Can I try something,
Haven't
Adam?
done anything but hang out.
You
I
can
don't-
try something, yes.
I have a racial ability to read minds. Or to detect thoughts or whatever. Let me get the exact wording up. I'm going to use that on the elk.
You'll
It's
get
good.
nothing, however, it will improve.
Hold on.
We're going to find out. Second level spells. My only one that I have. Detect thoughts, racial. And I can spend lots of rounds on it.
Ooh, what
me
is
cast-
that's for you being a tiefling?
I think so, yeah. There you go. Oh, the text didn't come up. Copy and paste the text.
Ooh, this changes everything.
Is my...
There we go.
Tech surface thoughts. No, but just being a tiefling gives you that?
Apparently.
If you're Rakshasa, yeah, I'm playing one in the... We're doing Hell's Vengeance, and I'm playing one. It's kind of fun.
Oh god, you're a fucking detect thoughts Rakshasa trying to hunt down good people? You're the worst.
Not hunt down good people. I mean, I don't really care about good
The,
people.
the
or bad.
the first encounter is beating up a guy to steal his money. It's a poor farmer. It's a poor... Ugh.
Well, yeah. Mostly I'm playing an enchanter with tons of charm person. Basically, the character wants everyone to love her.
I love it. It's awesome.
She might be a little immoral.
Okay.
I'm sure
Here we
Adam
go.
will attest that I never, ever play morally ambiguous characters.
Never ever. I'm rolling a will save. Here I go. Alright. You focus on this elk for a minute, and you detect the presence or absence of thoughts. It has thoughts.
Round 2.
Second round. Does this work exactly like just the spell, where it's a
It is
cone?
the spell. Yes. 60-foot range. And I target it so everyone else is behind me, so I'm not catching their thoughts.
There are
That's creepy.
There are two thinking minds.
Yeah.
Yep, got it. Yep.
Intelligence score of each. One intelligence score is a 2. The other intelligence score is not a 2. It's an 11.
Okay.
Third round. Surface thoughts of any mind in the area.
I focus on the 11.
Focus on the 11. Alright, that 11 is going to make a will save.
That was the most unexpectedly useful spell I've cast in a long, long time.
We just now figured out that one. I was like, oh yeah, I have this really useful, cool thing that I could have done.
You start focusing
Totally
in
fun.
on the thoughts of the smarter intelligence, and immediately get shut out and clouded. And the deer jumps up to its feet, and you don't hear anything. It's just it jumps up to its feet and looks like a deer.
Okay. At this point, I decide that we should probably kill the deer. And I share my opinions with the team, but I also suggest that I can wait until morning and try one more time.
Well, this is my original plan until we decided to sneak, but then that didn't work out.
So I say we wait till 8 a.m. and it resets, then we try again?
But
It's an animal companion. We have to kill it.
we don't know if it's an animal companion or not. We simply know that it's being possessed by something.
Yeah, I
agree
think
with both. But I don't want to know where we're going.
assuming you described to us exactly the way that
Can I
Adam
spell
described.
Can you spell check?
Spellcraft.
I mean,
Unhallowed
a spell wasn't obviously cast.
Yeah, there's nothing for you to try
Yeah.
and figure out.
What about
Knowledge
knowledge
Arcana?
arcana? Has somebody
You can
got
do-
that?
You can do knowledge arcana, sure.
Okay.
Okay. I describe it and let the intelligence character try it. And I'll also try it myself. But
Well, the intelligence character ain't me. I don't have knowledge arcana.
It's definitely a dragon transformed into an elk to ruse you.
Definitely.
There's an infinite number of possibilities of what could be going on here.
I got a 17. I'm not sure what Folren's gonna get.
You have not seen any particular magic effects going on this stag? Nothing exceptional?
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible. Like, we need to roll like a 50.
Folren, do you want to commit to detecting magic on it?
Sure.
Well, sure. I mean, I did before.
But
We've done a couple times.
There's not a magic aura here.
Yeah, no, this
Was
is...
there a magic aura before?
No. There's
Okay.
never been anything magic about it at all.
And so my knowledge arcana roll 17 is asking if I know of any magical things or systems where you would be able to speak through a deer or have 2 intelligence inside the same set of brain.
I mean, it's probably just ghost speak or whatever it is.
Ghost, whisper, message, magic mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So at that point I decide we need to kill the deer, but I think we try one more time in the morning to try and get through the other guy's head. Does the group agree?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you can kill the deer. I don't care about it.
At this point, Yasha knows that if we're in here, he's been sleeping for the last 6 hours, so he'll do the next 6 hour walk. And then we'll ask Ordu to do a little bit so he can...
I'll change my spells then. I was expecting to fight a wizard.
Are we good with that, guys?
I am.
I like your.
I'm sorry, I had to step out for a second. What's the plan?
We're gonna take a nap. We're gonna try and detect thoughts again, and then go to bed. And then if we don't succeed, we're gonna jump on the deer and kill it, so it can't follow us. And then we're gonna march across the.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tie up the sled so it doesn't collapse the bridge when it falls through and so on. In fact, we're gonna send the lightest person across piece by piece and pass.
So Alyosha?
Yeah. Okay. So we sleep. Next morning, I guidance myself and start detecting thoughts in the deer once everyone's practiced.
Oath Day.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now I've got 2 blesses, a magic weapon, and a shield of faith prepped. Is there anything else I should be picking up, or is that good?
If you have protection from evil, that's probably
better. Yeah, I would do that over some other stuff.
Okay.
Pro
We have a guy who
evil
can.
and remove fear over that magic weapon.
Alright.
Alright, yeah, this scrolls of it now, if we need it.
Tonight is going to be a full moon.
Cool.
Oh, Amur's probably at full health, because...
Oh yeah, I cast a spell myself. I cast whatever it is because I win. Okay. Next morning, I detect thoughts.
ASAP.
Once everyone's ready and ready to go.
Alright. There's still two minds there. They
Focus on the 11.
they have similar intelligence scores.
Focus on the 11.
There's a third mind.
What?
It's a deer tick.
Yeah, there's all the bugs, all the insects. Hold on.
Can I reaction speak as I'm doing this? Or does that count as breaking concentration?
No, that's fine. If you're just
Okay,
relaying.
I say there's a third mind and get ready for combat.
Wait, I take it back. There's not a third mind. That was wrong. It was a tick. The tick had a brain motion.
I think it's intelligence 0. Which means it doesn't have thoughts. Okay, focus on the 11.
Alright, here we go. Here we go.
Will save.
Will save. What's the DC?
DC 17.
Alright. You are, at this point, reading surface thoughts.
Cool! What do I have in my surface thoughts? and then this is a concentration lasting spell. So then I'll start directing my friends to go outside and say things to provoke things. Where are you from?
The thoughts are they're pretty idle. They're thinking, they're not like, what's going on with this situation? It's like, this is pretty boring.
So I have them open the door and start making comments about it's concentration length, so I can just keep going once I'm in.
Yeah, you're fine.
So I'm going to have them start saying, we're going to go back to Helren and see how he responds. We're going to summon the Paladin of Sarenrae and see how they respond. We're going to start talking about, I don't know, I've prepped everything. Folren said, so, something stupid.
Who's going to be, someone be the speaker, and then I will give you the verbal response and then the mental response.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
So the stag, it stands back up and it's like, oh hey, good morning.
Howdy. Yeah, howdy, elk.
And the surface thoughts are, here we go again.
Yeah, so how are you?
Not great. Things are getting pretty hungry out here. You got anything to eat? The surface thoughts are not great. I'm getting pretty hungry here. Do you guys have anything to eat?
Well, sorry, no. We're actually about to go home. We think.
It says, well, yeah, it's awful out here. You can get out of here. It's dangerous. And the mental thoughts are, yeah, get out of here, or you guys don't know what you're getting into.
Ask about the winter. No, ask about the evil guys, where they went.
Your secret upstairs.
Okay, I'm concentrating. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's... Well, I mean, we already asked about... Okay. So yeah, you don't know anything about what happened in here at all?
Like what with the dead guys?
Yeah.
The thoughts are, what was it? Not you people that went in there and killed all of them?
Those are the thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah, we're just plumb stumped.
Plumb stumped.
You hear, both of you simultaneously are like, you hear it outside Folren, and you hear it in your head, Amur. You guys are morons.
Threading it.
Okay. This is some conversational whiplash.
I mean, at least you're both hearing it once, so... Or... Amur is probably tougher for Amur, but I imagine it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. You're not really interested so much in what it's saying as what it's thinking about saying.
Yeah, I don't care what it's saying.
However, we think you might know too much. So, this might turn ugly.
You're the worst intimidator ever.
I'm trying.
Your turn.
Stop.
Ordu, take over.
Yeah, I'm not trying to intimidate as much as.
So.
Hey! I have an idea.
Hold on, let me. What it says
I'm trying to eke out information far less than actually scare it, I guess.
Hey, so I run back into the building. Hey, you, sister, you prepped one of those protection from evil spells, right? We'll know if this guy's evil or not. You cast your spell on him, and it becomes a stupid animal again.
Ooh.
Well, I suppose that might work.
I say as a metagaming player.
As a metagaming player, I don't think that works.
Yeah, that's because if it's an evil creature possessing it, they lose control over it.
Yeah, we'll lose control.
But it's not possessed. It's not magic.
It would or would not confirm it. Yes.
Wait,
so
what?
when you ask it, you don't. I don't think you know what's going on. It says, yeah, I don't really follow what you're saying. What am I supposed to know? I'm a deer. And it's you hear it thinking, it's like, you don't know what's going on. Y'all are probably gonna die if you don't go home. And even then, I can't even promise it.
probably going to live. Promise it.
You're probably going to die if you don't.
All right. Folren is personally tired of the charade.
I do have protection from evil prepped. I can cast it.
It's also a touch spell.
Oh, want me to get close to it?
Well, try.
It hasn't let us so far.
Yeah.
Can I just ask whatever the other creature is something like? Can I just make it? Can I just let it know that we know?
You want to be blunt about it?
I would.
So be blunt. Do it.
Yeah. So you look up at Amur to get like confirmation that this is going some like places, I guess. Amur, what kind of signal do you give him in the window?
No. Just I give the punchy symbol.
What? Folren has no idea what a punch symbol means other than fight, but that seems...
I guess it's like a thumbs
exactly
down.
what I'm trying to... Okay, a fight symbol, yeah.
Folren shakes his head.
He gives you a middle finger.
Because I'm not going to fight until you're down here.
Okay, so I walk down, maintaining my concentration. I don't know if I can do that. A foot of stone. Yes, I can do that. We're good. 3 feet of wood. I'm not going to do that at any...
You're going to go through a lot more feet of wood than that. Through the window is fine, but once you...
I can't... It's more than 3 feet of wood?
If you were to go around, yeah.
You are going to lose... He's going to be entitled to another will save if you basically come out and around.
I mean, there's just a window right there.
I don't see another option. I mean... I think we gotta do that.
I mean... It's just that he'd be entitled to another will save, that's all.
Yep. Okay, so we do that. We get entitled to another will save then.
Here I go.
I suggest to Ordu throw your sister at the deer,
So
and then she can touch it.
You come out, you kind of stilt walk to make sure you're looking at him the whole time, and when you start probing into his head again, you're in.
Cool. I look at him directly in the eyes and say, "Okay, Mr. Friend. Now your name is not Elk, you know, and we both know that, right? Now think about what your mama called you when you were young. Don't think about your name." That's what I said.
So the verbal response is, yeah, name's Elk. I gave it to myself. The mental response is, why are they so hung up on this thing's stupid name?
So Mr. Creature inside of Mr. Elk, don't think about what your mama called you. Don't think about your childhood. Don't think about any of the things that make you scared at night, because I'm seeing all of them right now.
You immediately get a name in your head because that's the best kind of psychology. Whatever mind you are speaking to refers to itself as let's see, Folren. Folren.
Cool.
And when it kind of self-reflects on itself,
don't think about elephants. Don't think about elephants. Don't think about elephants.
when it self-reflects on itself a bit, you discern that it's a pixie.
It's a what?
It is some kind of fey creature.
Okay.
It's the pixies.
It's a little bitty pixie fey creature that is when you get this thing to think about itself, it imagines itself to be a pixie.
Yep. Okay. And then I ask it what its motivations are to try and being here and watching. Why do you care about us?
It says, I don't care about you at all. I'm just chilling out. The thoughts are, it is keeping you guys from crossing the bridge.
And now, why are you trying to prevent us from crossing the bridge? Who told you to do that?
Get out of my head, Charles. It is you.
And I hold on. I'm going to ready a action.
It's thoughts. You can't ready. We're not in any combat situation. But its thoughts.
Okay, I'm ready to punch Alyosha to make it go attack it.
Its thoughts are constantly. You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. And The last
I
thing
know everything.
The last thing
I tell her
it
to
thinks
attack.
is it just kind of whispers quietly in a language that you don't probably hear, but you can think it's like charge him, charge him, charge him, and then I guess it's initiative time.
Phone
That
ducks.
was awesome. I'm so happy with that entire encounter. Does the mind reading go away when he goes to initiative?
No, you are still concentrating on it.
Awesome. I'm not gonna act, guys. I'm just gonna tell you what it's about to do. That's awesome. I'm gonna mute myself for a few seconds, because I assume I'm in the back of it. Oh, I guess do I get a surprise round? Because I know he's about to charge.
Not really, because he starts charging like immediately.
And I mean, like, also, you do that because you were concentrating. Which
Okay,
kind of.
fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for a bit.
Hey, look at that.
How far away is he? Okay. Hello, spray.
Okay, so I need will saves.
Do. What's the DC? 14. What? That doesn't sound right.
It's first level spell. 14. The elk collapses. Anything else you want to
Push the elk into the river.
Oh, that's. Well, it might live. That's less
Damn
cool,
it.
I suppose.
It's more fun to find out him coming back.
Oh no, I
after
mean, I shifted and used the spell.
So, we don't really need to stay in initiative now. I'm assuming you more martial people will get in close to it to at least figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
When you get close, you can see the deer is pretty mostly normal, but kind of in the big collapse part of where it fell over, you see this really, really tiny little sprite that is very, very light blue, that was super well camouflaged in its fur. Plus, these things have gone invisible on you before. So between mundane hiding and being invisible, you probably would have never seen it. But it's unconscious as well.
Okay, kill it. No, not the deer. The elk can live.
I eat it.
Wait a minute, we don't know that it's evil. We can't just kill it.
Oh my god, it's by default evil. No, but seriously, like, they really are by
I
default.
was gonna say, put it in
evil
your mouth is
creatures.
kind of gross, but at the same time you have a bite attack, so that's reasonable.
All right, kill it.
You do have that cage from earlier, if you wanted to cage it, I guess.
Yeah, but then it still, like, controls the elk, and I don't know how that'll turn out.
No, it makes sense to kill it. It's just that she's gonna feel guilty about it, slightly.
If it's either us or them.
My mouth is a cage of teeth and pain. Alright, well, combat over. Good job, Folren. MVP. So you feel good about it. That was a multiple creature area of effect attack, so good job.
Boo. It's a good spell.
Do you want to, like, watch and see what the deer does when it wakes up, or do you want to kill the deer too?
No, this is an albino deer, right?
It is not an albino deer. When you get a good look at it, it is definitely an Arctic stag.
You said it was the same one as last time, and last time it was an albino deer.
You assumed it was an albino deer. You never really got close enough. But Maris, you would know, looking at it, that this stag is not from around here. This is definitely an Arctic kind of variant. It's scruffy. It's got a very thick layer of fat that a native deer probably wouldn't. This deer is imported. The finest imported deer.
Got it.
I super don't want to kill it.
Let's not kill it. Let's just let it go. It wasn't doing anything wrong. I mean,
But wait,
I'm muted. Sorry,
yeah.
it's carrying our sled. We're not killing it. I'm attaining that it's become my pet deer. 100%. We're not using a mule in the Arctic. We're using an Arctic caribou. 100%.
You know
I
what?
mean,
I'm
I have a
big fan
plus
of that.
15 handle animal. It's gonna be mine. We're good. I put a rope around its neck. I tie it to the sled. I get some food out, and we're gonna tame it when it wakes up.
We got weeks to do that. We got time to train.
It's tied to a sled, and now I have to be right next to it.
But it takes long time to train animals.
It does take a long time. No, you could calm it down and get it to just follow you around.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Pretty easy.
Yep.
Do you want to tie it up first?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a rope around its neck, not very tight, just enough to control it. I'm gonna have Alyosha go by Folren and send Folren away. And I'm gonna just kind of spend some time. I'm gonna feed it some food. I'm gonna get some bread, some corn from the pack, and just kind of spend like maybe an hour and a half just with the deer, or the caribou, I guess. Caribou?
It is an elk, explicitly.
Okay, so I'll spend with the elk, just chilling with it and making it a friend.
Give me a handle animal check.
Yes, sir. And I will guidance myself first.
Oh my gosh.
31.
This thing is when it comes to it starts to rear and jump, and even before it pulls on the rope that you've got lashed around it, it looks at you, this super calming tiger face that's a level of comfort that deers will never know before. And you're thinking, if you're still detecting thoughts, it's like, I am pretty hungry.
And so I bring out some food, and I see what food it likes, and then eventually I'll introduce it to the mule, and if it doesn't like the mule, I'll send the mule home. And we'll take the deer.
This it's not, you can tell that it's definitely not tame, but that thing had tamed it in this like weird kind of fairy way. And with your like lunar power, you deduced that it wasn't any kind of animal companion. It was just like being mundanely commanded.
Sure.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's why it was telepathic. It was never speaking to us. It was just standing there. Of course, yes. Obviously. It was never speaking. It was all telepathic. Obviously. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm super happy with this now. Now I see my enemy. He is mine.
And you have stag.
So we finally found a thing in this forest that doesn't automatically hate us.
It never hated you. It was just the tiny invisible pixie on its back.
Yes, it's this one creature in particular. The other half of this duo did. Well, I assume. It was their job to someone across the bridge, and I imagine they would have used lethal force to do so.
Dear God, Ben. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to unpack the sled, and we're going to send the light member of the companions across. Who's the light person on our team?
Me, Yosh.
Okay, I tie a rope around you and send you across the bridge.
Folren, you want to risk it? You can see this coming, right?
Don't worry, buddy. I got you. I'll pull you out if you get cold.
And an elk crossed it. I should be fine.
Yeah, you did see the elk cross it, and it's probably heavier than Folren is.
I'll check the ropes on the sides here.
Engineering.
Oh yeah, probably engineering.
No, you can percept and look and see if it's a bridge. That sure is a bridge.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll do it. I have that rope around me though, just in case.
The bridge is about 30 feet long. If it were to collapse, you would fall into a very fast-moving river 50 feet below you that immediately goes over a waterfall.
Look at it.
But it looks pretty safe.
I did it.
If you were to move quickly, if you were to run or charge, it's actually 10 feet below down to the water, but then the river, the waterfall is a 50-foot drop.
Oh, that's the 50-foot drop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like here is...
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's only 10 feet, and then you're falling into freezing water. The bridge is pretty structurally sound, but it is very frozen over and covered with very slick and slippery wet ice. If you were to try and run or charge or be in any kind of a combat situation, you would probably fall and die. But if you just...
Can I precipitation away the ice?
As soon as you do, it starts building back up again because it's very below freezing. And it's the mist of the river that floats up and freezes on it on contact.
That makes sense.
Bridges made ice before roadway. But yeah, it's safe as long as you're not running or charging.
Okie-doke. I come back across because I am not the strongest one.
Make a reflex. You basically have to just tiptoe your way across.
Okay, well, seemed to
Yeah,
work.
Problem solved.
I mean, I know Neos are heavier than an elk. Unless you're like full out bear, maybe.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll unload the cart, take the cart across, and then reload the cart on the other side. And this whole time, when everyone's crossing, I'll make sure there's a rope tied around them, and I'll be lifeguarding.
Okay, yeah, you can spend the majority of the day getting that stuff across because you've got a fully loaded cart.
Well, hold on. Have you done your engineer? How much do you think we need to? How careful do we think we have to be?
Does anyone have engineering?
No.
Okay, it seems like a no.
I don't believe I do. Let me double check.
You don't know how to be the most efficient as possible at it. You just know if you're careful, and you probably don't carry more than 300 pounds total across.
Oh, that's easy. The entire cart weighs 100, so the lightest
but then
person can carry.
you're the person pulling it as well, which you probably weigh another 200 pounds.
But I'm saying, we can just do it in 3 ways, 3 rows.
It takes you probably
Takes you
3 or 4 hours to get across. You'll get across in like late afternoon.
Yeah, just because we're building it all.
So we'll say around about 4:30 p.m.
Wait, no. I thought we did the encounter at like 9 a.m.
You did the encounter first thing in the morning, so
So 3 hours later is like noon.
12:36 p.m.
Cool. Sweet.
There are some humanoid-looking, kind of sunk in. You can't get a lot of details. Tracks that are following the ridgeline on your map.
Awesome.
You see,
It's game time, children.
You see what looks to be a person and another person that's more or less being dragged. They're stumbling along.
Wait. As in the tracks of a person, or we see people?
The tracks of a person.
Okay. Phew. That's a very different
You
story.
guys are preeminent trackers enough to pick out these details in frozen snow.
Yep.
Someone's trudging along pretty well, and another person is stumbling and falling often.
So I guess we'll start our move. Does the caribou want to carry the sled, or are we still making the donkey do it?
You're still making the donkey do it. The caribou is not tame. It's just following you guys around because you got food.
Cool. I like this plan. Do I still need to have it tied up?
Yeah, probably.
You think in a combat situation it'll get spooked and run off at this point?
But would it come back to me, based on my knowledge of animals and deer type things?
Probably not. If it got spooked at this point, it would leave forever.
I put it on 100. I put it on 100-foot leash and just tie it to the back.
Okay. Cool. We're post 9 p.m. at 2 hours.
Yep.
Next session is going to be a lot of trudging through snow and such. Probably for a few days. I know you guys have all the gear and things you need to live through the woods or live through the winter weather, but it doesn't take long you going in this direction. It's getting much colder much faster. It hasn't changed mechanically, but temps are dropping.
Well, I can prep endure elements as needed, so.
That's cool.
Right now, you're basically making fort saves every hour, and I'm assuming that when it starts getting dangerous, rather than pulling out magic, you guys just take a break and make a fire.
Correct. And we're going to take lots and lots of firewood, as much as we can, and I'll spend the next couple of days. Can we fast forward to that time, or do you want us to trudge through next session?
We're gonna trudge through next session. Although you have a ton of firewood, so like.
Okay. I'll start training the deer to carry a small pack. I'll bring up a backpack into a kind of saddlebag for the deer. The elk.
That's going to be like downtime situation. If you can get this deer to follow you through to the next period of downtime, then your reward is having a party deer. But until then, it's basically only following you because you've been feeding it.
Cool. So I spend my time
giving it a
training
task or a job is a little bit beyond its capability at this point. But it is
but I think you do. One of the first steps of horse training is you do put a bridle on them immediately. No, that's one of the first things you do. Is you teach them that they're going to have things on their. To get food, they need to have things on their back. So I put a 2-pound load on it.
Well, that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of stuff you can't be doing.
Yeah.
It doing any functional work is kind of out of the question.
No, exactly.
Cool. And you can tell that it's actually pretty keen on taking commands. It's responsive. It's wild but well trained. Does that make sense? Must be fairy magic.
Sure. Woo! Awesome.
Hey, question about prestidigitation. It removes like debris and soil and muck from like garments, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's to prevent it from removing moisture from wood? Like if you were in a sewer slogging through and you got like all grimy with sewer poop water and you get out of there and you cast prestidigitation, it's all gone, right? So all the poopy water is gone. Can you not thusly remove water from firewood?
It affects a 1 foot cube each round.
So yes, it's holding a blow dryer up to it.
Okay. Just as an idea, in case we run out, we can maybe do
So
that.
as you're walking, I guess you can de-water some wood. Standing around with a log, just go through just every few minutes and be like, "Bleh, boring."
I think you guys have ample supplies.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good plan. Okay. Thank you, Adam.
Get off my internet.
Thank you, Adam. It was fun.
We
Good times.
finally cleared this house out.
GG.
Yes.
Alright,
And we
bonus.
fought deer.
And we caught a deer. Wild deer. Go your Pokeballs.
Okay. His name is Ezekiel.
Elk Elkzelium.